Hi guys, this is Jack at the Paranormal Intelligence Agency. Today I thought we would cover really the darkest part of the rabbit hole. We can forget red pills and blue pills because the truth is a jagged little pill that we're all going to have to swallow. UFO disclosure is happening so fast now. Ufologists have waited for this moment for decades. But instead of elation, all we can feel is horror. Because we know where disclosure is headed, and where it's headed is a very, very grim future for humanity. For a few months now, the UFO disclosure news has been hitting the headlines non-stop. And if you Google UFO disclosure 2020, you'll see a non-stop parade of stories talking about these craft and the fact that they have craft and pieces of craft that could not have been manufactured on the planet. One of these pieces is currently being analyzed by the US Army and the ATIP and To the Stars Academy programs. This is described as a metamaterial, a material with radioisotopes that could only be formed in zero-G environment. They could not have been manufactured on the Earth. All of this is leading to the inescapable conclusion that perhaps all of the alien abductees over the decades were in fact telling us the truth, and that humanity is being predated on by an alien intelligence who has chosen to do genetic experiments and to breed what many abductees call a hybrid being. The following footage that you're seeing now was smuggled out of Russia by a KGB agent. This footage has never been shown in any movie or television program. No hoaxer has ever come forward to claim that they were responsible and to get credit for it. And all indications are that the poster named Ivan, who appeared, downloaded these videos, and then disappeared, was in fact the authentic thing. The footage you're about to see is of one of the creatures that pilot these craft and who are conducting the genetic experiments on human beings and apparently breeding hybrid entities. It has been speculated that these hybrid entities, according to abduction testimony, will be replacing us on this planet. These hybrid entities are a perfect fusion of their genes and ours. In the early days of abduction, the abductees would come back and say, "They showed me a hybrid child. It looked very strange and alien, but you could see that it was part human." When alien abductees come back in present day, they say that the hybrid beings now look exactly like us, that the fusion has been perfected, and that these hybrid beings come with a singular nasty difference. They are neurologically superior to humanity. It isn't that these creatures are just technologically superior. They are neurologically superior. And that paints a very grim picture for humanity. Abductees are telling us that these hybrids can control both human thought and emotion within a given distance. Beyond that ability, it is almost impossible to tell that they are a hybrid being. The abductees are telling us that these hybrid beings are being introduced into our society and are being aided by other abductees and contactees, and that these hybrid beings are able to have a trance-like effect over other humans to get them to assist into integrating into our society. You see, these creatures are so advanced, they have no need for a planetary invasion. Instead, they have chosen planetary acquisition. A man named Dr. Roger Lear had a patient come in, and during a X-ray exam, it was determined that a foreign object was in the man's foot. Dr. Roger Lear, who's a pediatric surgeon, removed the object. There was no scar where the object had entered the body. There was no scar tissue. This is considered impossible. This is a picture of the object. It emits an RF signal, and it had a membrane around it that Dr. Lear suspected enabled it to interface with the neurological system of the human body, thereby possibly affecting behavior and other functions of the body. After this, Dr. Lear had a number of people come to him with these objects in their body. He removed them, and every one of them had the same properties. A man named Dr. David M. Jacobs, PhD, that you're seeing now, has spent 50 years with abductees, and he has concluded that which I have just told you, that the abductees are now perfected, that they are, in fact, walking among us. In his last work, he chronicles all of the eyewitness testimony, all of the evidence for this. What you're about to see has never been shown in public. This was given to us by an anonymous source. This picture was taken by an intelligence agent who smuggled in a pair of eyeglasses with a camera in them. This is the only known photograph of actual alien. The photograph is amazing. When we look to news to try to find an example of these hybrid beings being among us, we come across the story of a Jeffrey Allen Lash, a man who claimed to be an alien hybrid and an intelligence agent. This story can be found online by a number of mainstream news sources, and it is remarkable that his story fits so perfectly into the testimony of present-day abductees. Jeffrey Allen Lash had a couple $100,000 in cash, 1,200 guns that could not be traced, and lived with two women whose families claimed he held a trance-like effect over. They helped him to integrate. Apparently, he was working for an intelligence service, and the women who were with him for a number of years attested to that fact. After finding him dead, the two women actually left him in his car, parked in front of his house, expecting these intelligence services to come and pick up the remains. So now we're going to do the intelligence report. A lot's happened since the last intelligence report, namely Cliff High. There's a video on the Paranormal Intelligence Agency. It's paranormal-intelligence-agency.com. You can find all of these stories on the website. Cliff High has remote view, and Dick Allgaier have remote viewed that Trump would appear on the Joe Rogan show and discuss UFOs. There's a number of new cattle mutilations and horse mutilations taking place on the West Coast. We have covered those in a new subscriber report only available on the website. Click the link and it'll take you right where you can view that report. The Air Force has already built and flown a prototype of its new Generation 6 stealth fighter. This was done with what they called hyper-engineering. Using super advanced computers, they were able to skip the model part and the testing of the model and go right to manufacturing of the craft. They were able to produce this craft in less than a year. It is rumored that this craft has full laser weaponry. Whether or not these craft are designed to help intercept UFOs, we can only speculate. The United States Air Force is forming a relationship, of course, with NASA. And in an article, it discusses the military implications of that. There is a new movie coming out this fall. It's called The Gulf of Silence. The movie has a woman in it who was approached by an alphabet agency after she had a profound UFO experience and offered a job. And the movie tells her story. There is an unknown object approaching the Earth. Many scientists believe it is going to be a new mini-moon and be caught in our orbit. Some scientists think it's space debris. A lot of us think it could be something far, far more mysterious. And finally, the Mars rovers caught a number of UFOs on the surface of Mars during a sandstorm. And if you click on that link, it is very, very interesting. That will take you to another subscriber report which discusses these UFOs and the activity on the Martian landscape in detail. So again, come see us at the website, www.paranormal-intelligence-agency.com, or join us on Facebook and hit subscribe, like, and share, guys. I'll see you soon.